place you get sprung.
How does that young kid get Seinfeld and then I get that song? I'm like, what the fuck is that? So you've obviously hit the senior citizen portion of tonight's show. Thank you for sticking by. But I'm 61. I've been married for 23 years. Yeah. But my wife and I, some time ago, we decided that we didn't want to have kids. And it's really interesting. Like, I see that silence, that uncomfortable. Like, people react to that in a bad way. Like you should see when we told our daughters. Like, you just don't fit our lifestyle. And they said, well, you're supposed to decide that before you have us. And I tried to explain to them that the only kids we had any experience were the ones on television. And they're a lot cooler and more talented than you are. Don't kill the messenger. Like, learn to shuffle or cards or some shit. But anybody with any young kids here? But nobody? Anybody? Seriously, nobody in this entire place has any. Somebody has young kids. There, that's young. Can I make a suggestion to you? I can't see you, but and I want to be serious for a second, especially if you have daughters. Like, it's so important to stay engaged and stay present in their life when they're younger, because when they get older, you're not going to want to. Seriously, and it happens. It happens like it's all of a sudden. It's like a demon button is pushed within your house, because one day you come home and your kids run to you. They're like, "Daddy," and they hug you. And literally the next day you come home and your wife is sitting alone at the kitchen table with a bottle of wine, no glass, demon look in her eyes, and you're like, "It started. It started." And that's when you start coming home at night and you pull into your garage. And before you turn the engine off, you actually close the garage door first. I mean, not to die, but just do it, you know. I just want to, like, smell what death is like. But when I do shows, a lot of younger people come up to me afterwards and they go, you know, my relationship with my parents is so different since I moved out, and our conversations are different. And I'm like, that's because they're happy. Like, what you don't understand is when you see them in pictures now, or you see mommy and daddy smiling, it's because they're drunk. And it's interesting. Here's a little behind the scene thing that you younger guys don't know, that like when your parents said that they had to go in a room because mommy and daddy had to talk, they were talking shit about you. And a lot of times they were planning your murder. I can't tell you how many times that we went into the house and like my wife, or we went into the room, my wife, we're like, oh, mommy and daddy have to talk. And my wife would close the door and she would turn and she goes, that little motherfucker tells us tonight about a goddamn science project that's due tomorrow morning. We should kill her. And I'm like, honey, first of all, you're not wrong. Secondly, once the police looked at that syllabus, there's no doubt where they're coming. And she's like, maybe we should wait till after fall break. And I'm like, that's why you're a thinker. That's why, I swear to God, you go to Hobby Lobby, you probably experience this. You go to Hobby Lobby anytime after 7 o'clock at night, and all it is dads walking around looking for poster board. And there's like a weird point when two dads, like, their eyes meet and they just kind of go, help, help me. I swear that they jack the price up after about 7 o'clock. A poster board goes up 4 times what it was beforehand. But now my daughters have moved out. Yes, we are empty goddamn nesters, and it is a wonderful thing. And like a lot of our friends said to us, like, oh my God, you're going to miss them, you're going to miss them. And I'm like, they're going to college, not Afghanistan. They're going to be fine. I swear to God, the day they moved out, I'm like, okay, you know, your Uber's here. And I closed the door, like a unicorn runs to the backyard. Confetti pops into the kitchen. And there's sex in every room of the house. and your wife comes home and ruins it. Yeah, tell me about it. But we've been drinking like a ton. That's like all we do. We just go out to dinner and we drink wine. So like our trash is just empty bottles of wine with Chinese takeout like in there, so that shit doesn't clink when you take it to the sidewalk. And my daughters actually, it was Father's Day not too long ago, and they went and bought me probably the stupidest gift I've ever received. It's the stopper for a top of a wine bottle. Because get this, some people don't finish a bottle of wine in one sitting. Savages. It's to me, it's like not finishing the wine is like stopping at foreplay. Like, why did you even open it in the first place? But so they come back from college now. They're here for the summer. It's really funny because, like, they came to my show a couple months ago, and I came home. As soon as they're growing and they're smart and they're becoming adults, but they come into our house and they become kids again. I came home and they were arguing about who was the better teenager. I had to break it to them. I'm like, you're like two midgets arguing about who's taller. You were both goddamn horrible. But my youngest is in environmental studies. Never have a kid in environmental studies because they go through their trash can like the Nazis going through, like, is this recycling right? And they blame us for global warming. Not us collectively, just obviously my wife and I. And my youngest, she said to me the other day, what you're doing to this planet, what you're doing to this world, we're going to have to pay for. And I said, good, because so far you haven't paid for shit. I'm Mike Yarnall. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.